this last project and looking at all these retro board games, man, they were onto something, and they came out right with Dragon Strike, also right, Dragon Quest, with these campy video type things that they had put together, and Dungeons and Dragons fantasy adventure board game. I think that one was put out by Parker Brothers, perhaps. At any rate, went immediately down that corridor in the rabbit hole of my Dungeons and Dragons experience, and here we are. So without further ado, let's crack this open. So this is the box that I put together. It was an old Monopoly box that I have spray painted, added some fancy labels to, and you can kind of see what that looks like all together, and the treasure trove, hoard kind of thing. All right, let's look at it. All right, so we have the fantasy adventure board game piece here, the rule books here, and these are true to the original piece, bound for easy opening and accessing, like so. All right, here we've got the rule books and the map book, right, for Dragon Strike. So cool. Yeah, man, I am just loving these old games. If you have not seen the video for Dragon Strike, it is so campy that it is awesome. It's available on the YouTubes, of course. And then the third piece that's in here, Dragon Quest. So this is one that I found the rule books and some of the materials for, but they were just not very good, right? So I did go ahead and I found a copy of Dragon Quest. Let me just share this with you. That did not have any miniatures with it. So it came with the board, etc. But I'm not going to use that board. I had another one that I picked up along this journey to use instead. So I don't intend to ever play that. It didn't have any miniatures. I might use it for Hero Quest. We'll see. And then here is the turn sequence chart, weapons and stuff. This came right out of that box there. So that's the only thing that I did here was sort of add the cards from that set. But let's take a look at these boards now, right? So these are the boards for Dragon Strike. And so these are double-sided. And then here we go, right? And again, a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch on here, but I was creating this one along with ideas of the original Dungeons and Dragons project to be able to utilize the tokens back and forth between the games, right? And then we flip this guy over, and then we have that board set, and these I've mounted on some chipboard for rigidity. All right, and then here we have board number 2, right? And turn this over. Here we go. Which creates what? Board 3 and 4? Yep, or 1 and 2, depending on how you look at it. So there you go. So that is the board for Dragon Strikes, or the boards. And now I had connected with Schlaremir Canal. Sorry for murdering the name. And created and to look at, a stronghold, right? And he had put this together, and it is just brilliant. So I had to pick this up. It's 8 pieces. I'm going to just put this together right quick, and we'll come on back on the other side of that. All right, here we are. So this is the new and improved Dragon Strike board by Schlaremir Canal, right? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. He created this with Lost Maps, and you can definitely get a copy there. So he worked a solid with me and with this particular file to help work with my project. So definitely appreciate his efforts on this. But my goodness, look at that. So this is a huge board, even at 1/2-inch scale. This is probably more like 5/8 inch scale squares on here, and within keeping with what's happening with the rest of the boards in the box. Here we go. So another scan of this. Again, it's mounted on chipboard and printed on glossy cardstock paper. All right, finishing up our look at the boards for these games. These are the boards, they're double-sided boards for the Dungeons & Dragons Fantasy Adventure board game. Again, printed on glossy cardstock, but you can see how these are and how they all come together like so. So I'm excited about these here as well, but you can see how they are working out for sure. I think there's another tile in here. These 2 tiles I think came with some kind of an expansion situation. Not quite sure about those, and but I went ahead and printed them out and made them up. But so there you are. And with that, that is the boards for the D&D Fantasy Adventure board game, and we have taken a look at all of the boards now for the 3 games that are in the set. And let's take a look at some of these other components. All right, so for Dragon Strike, there was a DM screen kind of a situation, right? And so I just created one sort of smaller scale. I'm probably going to primarily be playing these solo, but this kind of works anyway like this. I think it's kind of cute. Has all of the pertinent information on there, and that came out rather well. And then here we've got all of the character sheets for Dragon Strike, and of course all of the campy photos for the originals here, and then through some great BGG fan love, a whole assortment of additional characters. Had to get these included in the game too. So tons of characters for the game now, and really came out well. Really pleased with those characters for Dragon Strike. And then here we are with the D&D Fantasy Adventure board game. Sir Roderick, I think, was a new one. Sharon was a new one. And I think maybe Thane also, right? And these were, again, this is just some fan love creation that created these. And then the original ones, Redgar, Josen, Lida. These are games, I just love the connection, right, between that 3.5 game and this game. It's just so cool. And then Morkand is from the Barbarian expansion. So the character cards for Fantasy Adventure board game are here. And then lastly, you guys, the pièce de résistance. This is the cards, right? All of the tokens. There is a lot in here. So let's just start here. I've got, of course, a couple of dice pouches here, some dice bags. Picked up a couple of different sets for D&D dice, and love that there. And then here we have the fancy dice for the adventure board game, right? And what that is, and the tokens there, the damage markers for that game, and I might use them likewise for the others. Oh, and then here we've got the trees, right? I guess it would be more of a green grass type of a situation to have the trees on here, but you can kind of see how those will fit, right? And then, of course, the pillars. The pillars are on here as well, like that. And then I went ahead with these doors, right? I feel like these doors are definitely the way to go. With having the 2D tokens that I put together, sort of a top-down view, it just keeps everything in alignment there. I did contemplate the trees and the pillars that way, but decided to just stick with the original one. And you can see what the door looks like there. I feel like these really do some good things with the game. And then let's put this door down so you can kind of see what that looks like. right there. So there you can see there's the door. And then you can either, right, you can open the door and have it like so, or just flip it to have a shadow side. There's an opening there, right? Kind of a deal. So options are good. And so that is kind of a take a look there. Here we've got some other tokens I felt like I wanted to include. I probably included way more than I needed to be honest. But you know, that's what I do, extravaganza of creation. So just some different rubble blocks for corridors, trap or secret doors and traps, and different, you know, tables and things, treasure chests, etc. These are the main components for the Dragon Strike board game here as well. And so there's that particular tray. These are all of the cards for Dragon Quest. And I went ahead and trimmed the edges. These come, if you have the game or if you've seen it, you know that it is squared, right? Squared cards. So I went ahead and rounded them. I love it. But here we are. That artwork on these cards is just phenomenal. Love everything about it. All the monster cards, everything for Dragon Quest is right here. And then here we've got all of the cards for Dragon Strike. And again, these are real basic sort of cards, spells and monsters. These came out real well, and very excited about all of these. And just that whole campy artwork thing is really just endearing, right? For us. We love it. You know, I'll flip those over later. And then lastly, the cards for Fantasy Adventure board game right here. Now these, this file was a little bit of a challenge. These cards came out well, I think, and was able to kind of dress them up. But there was a lot of, you know, sort of misalignment within these and some different things. But I think overall they came out well. They're probably a little bit smaller than your normal cards, but I am digging that, right? So these are the cards for the Fantasy Adventure board game here, and all of that is complete in here. And then lastly, you guys, this is it. The tokens. So this, right, I went ahead and created 2 trays, and I definitely created more tokens than I need for all 3 of these games. But thinking about the pantheon of monsters, thinking about what I wanted to include, right here is the Man Scorpion from Dragon Strike. And I created some of these and really took my Canva experience to next level, creating an owl bear and made some different tokens. I also included all of the tokens from Broadsword, right? Because there are just so many good applications for those tokens, and you can get those on Drive-Thru RPG. But others I made myself, like these bears, these bugbears in here, and gnolls, etc. So let's just take another, just like real close little look at these tokens. Top-down tokens, kobolds up here, the bugbears I was talking about. Lizard men, all kinds of different things in here. Undead, gnolls, right? So skeletons, and here we go. And then here are these large tokens that I was talking about a little closer up with that. Probably not going to see one of these yet, but we will see if we can insert one of those. Some carrions and that kind of stuff. Crawlers, different things, right? So I'm real excited about how these tokens turned out, and I'm super thrilled to get them to use both in this particular set and then also with the new D&D set that I put together also. And then I went ahead and put together a quick little battle kind of over here, and so you can see here what we're looking at. Maybe there's a pillar. There's the pillars over here. Maybe we have another pillar here for line of sight. Maybe there's a pillar there, just as an example. You know, just kind of throwing it together so you can see. So we open the door, boom, there's a group of orcs in here, and watching over these cells, and then here are our heroes, like so. So this is kind of the aesthetic. This is kind of what things are going to be looking like here. So, wow, there you go. That is the rundown on the D&D Ultimate board game treasure hoard. And now to get this to the table and get these games played. Talk to you soon.